The funniest thing, we were in the basement today and Steve Berglund had the tongs and he was talking about doing his interview with the tongs and started stroking his beard with it. And then we set it down, we all joked about well, they're probably not using these tongs anytime soon. And then we had dinner and then we looked over and it was on top of the salad to serve. And I quickly swooped in and brought it back downstairs and we're like, Steve, what have you done?
Another really funny moment that happened was in slap happy mode, Tess had to crouch down by our light dimmer switches and literally go up and down as fast as she could while they were sitting there hugging and having a very intimate, special moment. The minute I said cut, she was burst out laughing this is the most weird thing you could be doing while a couple is hugging and kissing. Another reason Mason is such a trooper is the final shots of the film involved him being tied up on the ground, and when you tie yourself up with gaffer tape, there's only one way that tape can come off. I'm like, here are some scissors, I don't want to be a part of this, may God be on your side, basically. Oh! There was a moment where Mason struggled to simply throw a blanket on Tori and then shut the sliding glass door. And we gotta shut the door, unfortunately.
Oh, goddamn mother...
Babe, you have a temper problem. This is not your shining moment, babe. Show me what you got. It's freezing out here. You sure you want to do it?
Let me try that again.
Okay.
Alright, Mason, you're gonna throw it?
Oh my God!
Okay.
Door!
No,
I'm sorry. It's because I didn't open it, so I just need to get it in my body. Okay,
Yeah.
there.
It's okay.
Now I'll close
All
it.
you have to do is throw it. There was a great moment where we were just finishing our scene in the basement and we were coming up
reminding myself that this was a one-day thing as it was happening. It just made me the respect was so real at each moment. It was really, really amazing. This guy's killing it.
You're actually needed. We're gonna mic you up.
Oh yeah.
You got 60 seconds to finish whatever you're saying.
Oh, right.
So, any final thoughts about today? You are free to the bed.
Thanks.
We're gonna give you all the lines here. Minimize the
The entire experience, I would say it's invigorating.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but that's when you kind of have to let those thoughts go and just trust.
In one word, it would be crazy.
It was interesting. It was almost like a practice on instincts.
So it was a lot of just downtime and just all of a sudden after we had a meal together and then it was just there we go. All right. throwing you in there.
I think I'd say Renegade.
It was like being on a diving board for a long time, but then once you had to jump off, you had to just go.
Definitely, it feels kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I one of a kind. I mean, completely anything that could happen really kind of happens.
All of your adrenaline is hitting you, and it's moving so fast that you can't think about anything else, which is kind of fun.
One scene, you're crying, and then in the next, you're laughing and happy and crazy, and it's nuts. This was nuts.
So I guess I would describe it as stupid and exhausting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say physically and mentally exhausting, but emotionally very satisfying.
I've done similar days, amount of work-wise, but length of time-wise, I think this one takes the cake.
Yeah, a lot of times it did feel like one giant scene.
Well, to be honest with you, the nature of doing 61 pages in a day meant that a lot of scenes blended into each other. We'd start off, and because we were trying to be quick and we were trying to be efficient, there were times when you're like, wait, have the actors started acting? Or are they still rehearsing? So, after about an hour or two, you're like, all right, we're just going to assume everything is just going to, it's going to be a take. It's going to be a take.
Everything did become a take. I mean, we definitely were filming the rehearsals.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Come here.
Hey, Nick.
Can I speak to you?
No. We were practicing. You guys were like doing stuff, so we're rehearsing. Yeah.
In private?
Well, 1 sec, okay?
I know this is a big step, but this is what I want, to settle down, to start a family with a house, kids eventually.
With Corey?
You just said he was great for me.
I what? No, Shelly, you gotta move out.
Just moved in with you.
That's different. I'm not an asshole to her. I don't think.
Are you saying he is with me?
Shelly, I'm serious. Has he hurt you?
No.
You sure?
It's just been hard without you there.
Oh, somebody get you to a room. Damn, Nikki, you got some real mood lighting here.
We're fine.
Candy.
We're fine. Really?
Don't get any ideas.
Stop. Core bear.
Schmoopy. Looks like you need some liquid courage there, Nicky boy.
Excuse me.
Attaboy, get crunk!
Okay, cut.
Is this?
So let's take it from the top again.
Yeah, other than eat, we didn't stop.
Yeah. Whether the end result film comes out great or not great, the fact that you can see everything come together in one day, and then of course we will shoot the second parts later, so 2 days. I think that is almost like an experiment worth just watching, because you have to appreciate the amount of crap that goes in all in one day.
Wow. Knowing Act 2 will be completely done tonight, that's insane for everyone involved. I also have been watching the crew, and they are just machines, and I don't know how they do it, and I'm really proud of them. Like, they're just, they have no time for shit. Like, there is no time. Literally.
It's a relief, I think, knowing that Act 2 would be done tonight, just because my scenes will be over.
Crazy, actually. Like, I thought I had a handle on that when, like, going into it, but just seeing it, like, once my scene started being a part of it, realizing that Act 2 was done tonight is, like, the gravity of it, or the magnitude of it really set in. Just watching each team's scramble to the next location, scrambling gracefully, like, just like a SEAL Team 6 of filmmakers, I'd say. It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I think, like, going forward when I have a project, you can do more than you think you can.
For 2 months, I have been listening to recordings that I made of all the lines, and I listen to it every day in my car, when I'm going to auditions or whatever. I don't have to do that anymore, and that's, it's a cool feeling. I mean, there are parts where it's, you do a scene and you're like, wow, I never have to do those lines again. Like, it's over, it's done, so it's kind of bittersweet,
Yeah, it's been a long day.
And it was hard, but knowing that when we get back together in a couple months to finish the film, we've already got the hardest part behind us, is gonna just make that process even easier and more enjoyable.
Long story short, I'm really glad it's done, but holy cow, I'm really relieved it's done.
I feel very accomplished, I really do.
This sounds so bad, but I was kind of waiting for Grant to just, like, have a moment where he just was, like, stressed out. And I think I was projecting, like, maybe if I had been in his shoes, like, I would just be like, oh my God, like, just one moment. I mean, like, even keeled, consistent the whole time, so supportive, still is so on it. I mean, they're finishing up right now, like, super attentive. His feedback was constructive and positive. I was, like, blown away. And everyone else, he set the tone, so everybody followed suit, and I don't think it would have been possible if it had been different.
I've been shooting a wedding where the bride and groom are about to enter the reception hall and everyone's standing on their feet and the DJ's like, come on in, and everything's exciting. And one of my batteries just died. And you've got under 10 seconds to swap that battery. And oh, by the way, your audio device might be blowing levels. So if you have a second, check that audio device before it's all distorted and yada yada. So I've been in moments where this is someone's one shot at anything and it's basically live. If you screw it up, you just missed it forever and it's on you. And those are the moments where I shake and I freak out a little bit. Thankfully, I've been planning this movie for a year. I know all the actors, I've trusted all the actors. I know my basic camera moves for every scene because I've played it in my head while writing. I've played it in my head while daydreaming on my commutes into work. So when it came down to it, half these scenes that we were rushing, I already knew what I was about to do, kind of. And I just knew that as long as I could get the A camera on the Steadicam in places where it needed to be and communicate clearly to my other shooters to fill in where it felt natural and stay all on one side of the 180-degree line, a lot of times it just worked. And once you get into the full swing of now this scene, there's like literally no time to think about it. And the adrenaline just keeps you going and it's fun because you're like, oh my God, this is the scene where Katie gets to yell at Mason. And I'm just thinking, okay, we could put her there. We could have him come out here. We got to make sure get him in this lighting out in the snow instead of doing it in the garage because we got all this catering food sitting here anyway. It's like playing in a basketball game against your biggest hometown rival and it's the start of the fourth quarter and it's a tie ball game and you've got 8 minutes left of this high school quarter and you know they're gonna bring it and you're gonna bring it and you're gonna battle it out all the way to the end and it's gonna be fun.
Wake up! Melissa, help me! Status.
Charging.
At the end of the day, I knew coming into this project, the only way it could be done is if I trust my actors. I knew for a fact I wouldn't be able to see every performance. Hell, there are entire scenes I shot where all I got was a supporting character's reactions and dialogue, and I never even seen Mason's face for the whole scene. And we never had time to rehearse it, and I never had time to review footage or anything. And I'm gonna find out exactly how Mason played it for the first time ever in a few months when I finally watch it in the edit bay. Because if I had to go and monitor every single actor and say, I need this changed or I need that changed, the film couldn't have been made. And then trusting my supporting actors, even if I can't see them, believe in their choices and know that as long as they play it truthfully, honestly, and confidently, that is it. That's what sells it. One of the things that can't be understated is that Mason Heidger is an absolute professional and a champ. I've never seen an actor pull off what he did. And even watching like films like Victoria, yeah, they filmed a 2-hour movie in one night, but their lines were improvised. And you can tell, like they had a basic guideline of what they needed to talk about, but improvising based on a guideline is so much different than memorizing all these lines. By the end of Act 2, he has hit every single emotion in the book. He's been surprised, shocked, scared, impressed, in love, angry, sobbing, frustrated, tempted. Mason pulled off something that I don't think many other actors in their entire career will be asked to do or even given the opportunity to do. I mean, shit, you go watch the movie Birdman, yeah, it's dialogue heavy, and Michael Keaton, yeah, he's got a lot of dialogue, but he shot that in 30 days. And Mason pulled it off, and he did it professionally with a smile, and he killed it. It's like he put his life out there like this was the only film going on. And I know he's got auditions, he's got other movies he's working on. This film lives and dies with Mason, and thank God he can hit the dynamic range that the script called for.
1 second.
Any last words?
I had fun. Thanks.
I did.
Corey!
Loosen up that goose!
No, this is a super cool project. Everybody's dope.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Good night.
I'm getting a donut. I might actually.
Oh, you should.
Should we take some for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Grant will let us.
After it was all said and done, they did some exit interviews. I did my exit interview from 3:30 to 4:30. Eventually, I had to wake all of them up at 5 to take them to the train station, because if we missed that 6 o'clock train, it would be our worst nightmare all over again. So I got them to the train station at 6, got back home at 7, running on 4 hours of sleep. Finally took a little nap from 7:30 to 10, woke back up, started cleaning the house, and it had a long way to go before we would ever be able to start getting this back to kitchen renovation mode. So it was a long Sunday for sure.
And that was a ton of fun. This is probably not usable footage now.
Cranks! We feel cranked right now.
But Daddy's Donuts is actually so good.
It's for you, Grant.
Hey, Grant. And then I had the cherry pie.
Poopery. Stifle that shit.